Look at that. I know you guys
It
here.
looks too pretty to eat.
How's that? Can you see all the beautiful vegetables in here?
Love it.
Cooking for all seasons, and now we're gonna fry it up. But before we fry it up, oh, sorry, I have an itchy nose. You have to edit that one out. I have Judy Bonino, and you can just, right here. Now, you know, cooking in this barn, it is a barn.
Yes.
It really is a barn.
It is.
But it is a beautiful barn. Hi, this is Judy Keys, and welcome to Cooking for All Seasons. And today we're at LJB Farms in San Martin. This farm is owned by the Bonino family, and it's been here for like over 100 years. They're not 100 years old, but the farm is 100 years old. But their family it's been passed down and passed down and passed down. And, you know, now the Bonino family still owns it, and that's where we are. But it's just grown into this beautiful, beautiful environment where you can get all kinds of fresh vegetables and fresh fruits, things that they grow here, things that they bring in from other growers. So if you get a chance, come on down to San Martin. If you can't, you know, you should try some of your local farm stores and try some farmers markets. So today, that's where we are, and today we're going to be making some soup and some corn fritters and just having a good time. And I just want to introduce you to some of the ladies that are going to be helping me today. And this is Julie.
Hi.
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 And this is Raquel.
Hi.
So you can see behind us there's like a general store with all kinds of beautiful things to purchase for yourself or for a friend. So we'll be taking a look around there later, and we'll be looking at the rest of the farm later too. But right now we're going to start making some soup. Now, we decided to make a sort of a southern type of soup. It has a ham hock in it and all kinds of fresh vegetables. However, most of the vegetables that you're going to see here are fresh, but during any time of the year you can either purchase these vegetables frozen, or they're vegetables that are available all year round. So Julie is going to start chopping. Today we're going to make some southern style vegetable soup, and Julie's going to be chopping some of the vegetables. Now, some of the vegetables I've already prepared. In here there's carrots and onions and celery and leeks. Okay, now this is a leek. I just wanted to bring one to you so that you'll know it looks like a big onion. And the part that you normally use is just the white part. However, in the springtime, they're spring leeks, and they're narrower, they're much smaller, and they're really good put on the barbecue and things like that. So look for the spring leeks if you can, but leeks are usually available all year round, so you won't have a problem. And they belong to like the onion family. They have a really nice flavor to them. So that's what I have in here, and actually it's been cooked with bacon. It's a little bit of bacon in there, getting in, yeah, just a little bit. And let's see, what else did we have in here? Yeah, that's what we have in here. So anyway, I'm going to put this into the soup, but in the meanwhile, I'm going to get, oh, wait a minute. And these are tomatoes. Now these are fresh tomatoes. I skinned them, and then I took the skin off and chopped them. Can you hand me, we're like right next to the tomatoes, yes, so I can show you what, yeah. So what you do when you want to skin them, you just take your knife and make a little crosshatch right here, and then put them in some boiling water, minute. Doesn't take very long, and you can actually you'll see it kind of split, and then you can just take them out, put them in a colander, let them drain for a few minutes until you can pick them up and just peel the skin off and just chop them up. So I just thought I wanted you to know. Now, if you can't get fresh tomatoes, because yeah, tomatoes aren't available all year round, though we have some now, you can use canned tomatoes. So this is about 4 cups of fresh tomatoes. So, okay, Julie.
Yes.
Now, we're going to put some cabbage in and some zucchinis in. And here's another kind. We have nice zucchini. This is a crookneck. This is Italian. And actually, Italian's probably available all year round. I don't know about crookneck. Could be. It won't look as beautiful as this, I don't think. But it'll be available. Now, what is this?
A funny looking yellow carrot.
No.
A parsnip.
Very good. Okay, a parsnip
learning.
is a root vegetable and it belongs to the carrot family. The difference between the texture, though, of a parsnip is it gets a little bit mealy. So when it cooks in a soup or anything, it'll begin to kind of break apart, whereas a carrot won't usually break apart. But it has a very distinctive flavor, and it's really good in chicken soup. I like it in chicken soup. So anyway, okay, so now, let's see. Okay, Julie, now, I'm gonna cut, and then just chop it. Just, you know, we can do that, okay.
That I can do.
Okay, now, I'll peel this for her so she doesn't have to.
I'm just gonna watch.
Look at how beautiful it is, though. Isn't that pretty? The parsnip, the color of it.
Parsnips roasted. That's
Oh yeah?
yeah.
But don't they make a lot of people use parsnips in mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
Because they have a very distinctive flavor and a fragrance too. Oh, very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's
You want the other one as well?
Yes, please. We're making soup for quite a few, but then we'll just cut this parsnip up, and I already have in the soup bucket over here. I think we'll use 1 parsnip. In here, I already have some chicken stock and some cannellini beans or navy beans. And if your family doesn't like beans, don't put them in, but I happen to like beans. So you can use Old Navy beans. You can use pretty much any white bean. If they don't like white beans, you probably could use, I don't know, you could probably use a small red bean would be okay. Just whatever your family likes. Oh, okay, so I'm just going to put these in, and then you want to do the, yeah.
That's good.
Looking good, Julie. You're just an expert at this.
Well, you know.
So, Raquel, I know you have, what is your family? Does your family like soup?
Yeah, I usually do soup quite often actually. I'm one of those whatever's in the refrigerator, I make a soup.
Oh, yeah.
Usually on a Sunday afternoon. It's a soup day.
And you know, really, I know people are, oh, you know, we don't eat soup because it's too warm outside, but actually, it's kind of nice.
I like doing soup and then making like BLT
or grilled cheese are really good. Yeah.
That's usually our Sunday afternoon lunch.
Okay, now we're going to put these tomatoes in. Aren't these beautiful? Look at those.
Those are gorgeous.
They're from here. These are from here. I did them yesterday.
I love to make tomato soup too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm teaching you that one.
Pretty soon this is going to start having a really good fragrance here.
Do you want these smaller?
Yeah, why don't you cut, so you can see, yeah, just cut through them like this is fine. And then we're going to have some green beans. Whoop. Look at these. So, I mean, green beans, I know, there's oops, we have beans all over. Certain times of the year, you can't get fresh green beans. But if you can't get fresh ones, you definitely can get fresh frozen. And they're not bad. You know, they really aren't. You know, really by the time you put them in the soup, of course it doesn't have exactly the same flavor, but it does pretty good. Okay, so you know, with the beans,
Snap them?
yeah, let's just take off the tops and then just cut them in half or in thirds or something. And I don't want them too small. I I like it. I don't want it all chopped up really tiny. You know, I want you to be able to.
Bite.
You want a bite?
No, I said you want to be able to take a bite.
Oh.
When you put it in your mouth, you want to be able to.
You want a bite?
Yeah, I'll just sit here and hold my microphone and eat some green beans while you.
So now you have how many kids you have?
I have 3 children. Yes, 2 in
Yeah.
high school and then 1 in kindergarten.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they're good
Getting
eaters.
a little bored. I had to, spice up my life and have another.
Oh well.
Yeah. And they're good eaters. Yes, we get to eat this wonderful produce all the time.
Yeah, it's beautiful in here. We have, so our soup is, let's turn this up. And this probably cooks a good 45 minutes, no, not 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours.
Like just simmer.
Yeah,
for a
just
while.
kind of let it simmer, and it's really, when it's ready, when you're ready, it's probably ready. If you don't, some people don't have to have soup that's real, the vegetables are sogged out, where they're just they've lost all of their visual appeal, and their flavor has kind of just gone into the wind. So I think that you start it, as long as the vegetables, like you want the parsnips and stuff to cook down a little bit, but after that, I mean, it's really kind of up to you when you feel a vegetable soup. And of course, in this vegetable soup, we have another thing coming, and this is the ham hock, and that sort of makes it a little bit southern style.
It just makes it all better.
Yeah. So this is a ham hock, if you've ever seen one before. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this in. Now this probably takes an hour, because what you want, the ham hock is really already cooked, but what you're going to do is you want the meat to begin to fall off of the bone, so that you can take the ham hock out. If I don't want to cut myself here, it's in like a sealed. You want to take it out of the soup once it's done, and then take the meat off the bone.
Julie's got a really sharp knife.
I know. Well, it's just the way it's sealed in here.
Want me to get at that for you?
So there you go. There he is. And when you buy them like this, they're cut for you. If you buy them in a butcher shop, make sure you tell them you want it cut, and they'll cut it for you. It makes it, well, the flavor is there. So let's see. Well, we'll just put this over here. So how are we doing with beans? Okay, beans are in. Okay, now let's chop up that zucchini, the yellow one.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh, this is looking pretty good here. If you don't, I think probably the one piece of, you always say, well, you don't have to have a, can you guys see? Oh, here. How's that? Yeah? Yep. One time I was doing a show, and we were in Fresno, I think, and we had this big pot of pasta on this, and we
Did you dump it?
almost it wasn't funny, but it was funny.
It's funny now.
But it's probably more funny now than it was at that time.
You probably didn't have any backup pasta, did you?
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, because if we lost the soup, you would have seen it, but we wouldn't have been eating it. Great. Okay. So, all right. Now comes. Let's put a little bit of cabbage in here. Okay. So here, let's cut the cabbage in half. Or let's just cut a piece off of it, and hopefully don't break the table.
With your so sharp knife.
Yeah, there you go. So let's just take off this guy, and let's just slice it as thin as we can get it, okay?
Okay.
Now the cabbage will cook down, and actually cabbage acts like a thickener in soup. So, I mean, but a lot of people don't like cabbage, so if you don't like it, don't put it in. But it'll probably more than likely cook down and you won't even notice it. So let's see, what else are we going to put in this? Let's see, we're going to put in, and I have to make sure I'm looking at, we're going to put in some thyme, some dried thyme. Now, if you have fresh thyme at home and you grow it, go ahead and use it. But, during the winter time and everything, unless you have a windowsill and you get a lot of sun or something, you may not be able to grow it. So go ahead and use some dried. Oh, very nice. You're very fast at this. So we're going to use some.
I didn't expect you to make this tonight.
Right. Yes.
Okay. All right. And let's just cut up a potato or two.
There you go.
Ooh, it's so pretty. Look at that. I know you guys
It
here.
looks too pretty to eat.
How's that? Can you see all the beautiful vegetables in here?
Love it. See, I could do soup every day. The big old chunk of French bread and a big old slab of butter. I'd be happy.
The butter.
Yeah. Slab of the butter.
Okay, and we're going to put some bay leaves in. Now these are Turkish bay leaves. Be careful when you're using bay leaves. If you use California bay, they're much stronger. They're pungent. So don't. If they're the big bay, California bays, only put a half of one in because they are much stronger. These are Turkish bays, and they're a little bit milder. So. Oh, very nice.
Good job, Judy.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just put these in and.
I'm just the cheerleader today.
Doing great.
So what kind of soup do you I like clam chowder.
See, I don't do clam chowder very often, but I do corn chowder.
Oh.
Right now, because our corn is so
Yeah.
wonderful. I do a lot of corn chowder. Or,
You want to do that one?
Sure. Of course, with a little bacon, because bacon makes everything better.
Yeah, today we're going to do, the other thing we're going to do is corn fritters.
Yep, that'll be it.
And that, I think, we have fresh corn, but fresh corn stays around till
We've got
November, and the other thing is that if you like fresh corn, what you do is you cut it off the cob, cook it just a little bit, put a little salt in it and freeze it, then you really have it, So you can always use fresh corn. If you can't, eat frozen corn is pretty good, But you get a little spoiled when you have the fresh corn all the time. So. Very nice. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. So do you cook a lot?
You already
I know.
the answer to that.
That's why we're making her cook off everything.
I do not.
She needed a cooking lesson today.
Yes. So
She will be, though.
The lesson is if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, that's a good lesson.
I think, you can kind of, if you're closer here, you can actually get the smell of it. It smells really good. So, okay, we've put everything in there. Let's put a little bit of fresh ground pepper in. And, let's see. I probably would wait to put salt in this because remember we sauteed all those vegetables and we had bacon in there. And we did have a little bit of butter.
Well, and your ham hock.
Sorry, it was just a little though. And we have the ham hock, and you're never really quite sure, how salty that's going to be. So I probably would wait until it at least about 3/4 of the way, give it a taste, and then we got some visitors,
Yes.
and then change the, change your flavoring, because then we use some chicken stock in here too. Now the chicken stock I used was canned, but if you make your own, hey, that's great. You can use chicken stock, you can use vegetable stock, you can use beef stock, you can use just plain water. Now if you're a vegetarian, you probably use a vegetable stock, which would be fine. And you just leave out the ham hock. If you don't usually use ham, you can actually use a smoked turkey leg or wing or something to give it some extra little bit of flavor, which is really good. So, okay, we're gonna clean it up, and then we're gonna start making the fritters. So here, let me just tilt this so that he can. You see? How's that? Looking good. So we're going to go ahead and move this off and get the fritters going. Okay?
All right.
So we'll be back in a few. Hi, welcome back to Cooking for All Seasons. I have to admit something. I forgot the garlic and the Italian parsley in the soup. But I put it in, so we're good to go. We're good to go. How could you forget the garlic? I know, this is garlic farmers here, and there's garlic all over here, and I forgot it. So it's there. We're A-okay. Okay, good to go.
All right.
Okay, now we're going to make Southern style fritters. Now, I don't think that's, I don't know, unless you really come from the South, I don't think that people really do it. Make them. Do they? I don't really think they do. Now, this is kind of one I kind of put together, you know. It's not like it's not a pancake with little bits of corn in it. It's well, you'll see. I mean, it really is a solid piece of a lot of corn and cheese and eggs and flour and and onions and peppers and then we're going to fry it in peanut oil.
Now, why peanut oil?
Well, peanut oil it gets to a higher temperature and it doesn't burn as easy.
But you're not going to have a peanut taste?
No.
Okay,
No.
there we go.
So, Julie is going to be the stirrer. She said she knows how to do that.
I'm much better at stirring than chopping.
So, this is fresh corn off the cob. It's a mixture of yellow and white. Now, this corn has been cooked in just a little bit of water to get it going. Okay, it's not like really, it still has a crunch to it. Okay, so we're going to put this in. It's about 4 cups, which is about 5 ears, 6 ears, depends on how big your ears are. Not your physical ears, but how big the ears of corn are. And this is some red pepper and a yellow onion. So it's a red pepper and a yellow onion, and it's just been cooked in a little bit of olive oil. No, I didn't use olive oil. I used just regular oil in this because you don't really want olive oil.
Too heavy.
It really has. A lot of times people use a lot of olive oil and they use it in things with tomatoes and stuff like that, and that's fine, but olive oil actually has a very distinctive flavor. I mean, different olive oils have different flavors. French, Italian, Greek, you know, just have a different flavor, and so you will pick up that flavor. So this is just plain, either use canola oil or this oil that happens to be a vegetable oil, just a little bit to get it going. Okay, so you got your spoon.
All right.
You got your spoon.
Go to
So we're gonna put, we're gonna put 2 eggs in. How gracefully I did that. Whoop, don't want the shell in there. So you got 2 eggs. And I already measured this out. This is a cup of regular all-purpose flour, and it has and I want to, because when I make sure that I do this right, that I tell you right, it has a teaspoon of baking powder, not baking soda. Baking powder is the one that comes in the can. The baking soda is like Armour Hammer and comes in the box, okay? you guys know I'm not a baker, so you know I have to really pay attention. So we're just gonna, and you just want to,
Kind of toss it.
yeah, just toss it around a little bit. Okay. Now we're gonna put a little bit of thyme in. I'm just using dried thyme. You could use fresh thyme if you want to, but remember, dried thyme is going to be much more pungent flavor-wise than fresh thyme. Though fresh thyme's has a pretty good flavor to it, but still, dried thyme is definitely going to be much more pungent. Now, we're going to use some milk. Now, we're going to use. This is some Creole seasoning. Well, you have to be really careful with these kinds of things. You notice I haven't put any salt or anything in here. And the reason why is this has salt in it. And if you put salt in it and then you put this in it, you're going to be sorry. Because the stuff has, I think, as I'm not mistaken, it may be, it could possibly, salt and pepper, salt and red pepper, but salt is the first ingredient. And that's what you want to check when you start using any of these seasonings that are mixed already, because there's going to be a lot of salt in it. So
now if
hold off.
If you don't know where to find this, what other kind of seasoning can you use? Or what,
Well,
if you don't have this brand or this type
well, there's, and in most of the markets nowadays,
by the Creole.
you can find some sort of Creole seasoning or something like that.
Okay.
It may not be this brand,
Right.
but it
that's
will
what you're
be.
going for.
Yeah. So be careful with this. And actually, I'm going to use, and I really did go through this and figure out how many teaspoons of this. So you're going to put 2 teaspoons. I know it looks like I'm putting more, but this is a half a teaspoon. So that's 1 teaspoon. Because it can get really salty really fast. Okay, so that's 4, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's 4.
Because you can smell it. Can you smell it?
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys can't. Sorry.
Could imagine.
But
Red pepper,
yeah. So what does this have in it? Let's see.
garlic.
This has salt, red pepper, black pepper, chili powder, spices.
I love that.
Don't they love that?
Generic.
Yeah, it's like, my guess is some, and more salt and garlic powder.
Oh, that maybe is what's the
Yeah. No, it's got a little comma after it, and then salt. So it's got like a salt, so you know it's there. And some garlic, and it says may contain wheat, soy, or milk. So you can't, if you're trying to stay away from those kinds of things. Now, the next thing is some cheese.
Cheese is kind of like bacon. It just makes everything better. Cheese and bacon.
Yeah, and this is a sharp cheddar. A sharp. So we're gonna put. That's about a cup and a half.
I love how you measure.
Yeah.
That's my kind of measuring.
Well, I mean, you could put more. You can put
I
more.
never use a measuring cup. I just kind of dump.
And then we're gonna put some milk in here. Now this is where it starts getting kind of funny. Well, we're not laughing, but it is kind of funny. Because, this is not it's not like a pancake, so it's not gonna flow out. It's sort of more chunky and solid, yeah. So you kind of wanna see how it's coming together. Oh. And I'm not going to put any more seasoning. I mean, you could put a little bit more black pepper in or something, but if you're cooking for your kids or something like that, you probably have to be kind of careful, So let's see how this is. Ooh. Okay, now we are on the farm, so they're going to be there's going to be flying things around.
Darn it.
But we're going to cook this in oil, and if one of them accidentally gets in, oh well, he'll be just a little more protein. So can you guys see this? You see how this is?
Nice and chunky.
Yeah, and so we're gonna fry it like this, but we're gonna cut out for a second here. We're gonna set up the fryer, and this is gonna sit for a minute or two,
Okay.
because I think that it's better to let it sit for a little bit, to let the flour sort of infiltrate with the milk and sort of, you know,
There you go.
get it together. So we'll be right back. We're just gonna set up the fryer. Okay. Hi. Okay, we're back. Cooking for all seasons, and now we're gonna fry it up. But before we fry it up, oh, sorry, I have an itchy nose. You have to edit that one out. I have Judy Bonino, and
Where am I supposed to be looking?
you can just right here say hi. This is Judy, and you've been here on this farm for how many years with your husband?
47.
All right. And you have 2 boys,
2 sons.
and they are Russ
And Brent.
and Brent. And you have, like, how many grandchildren?
3.
3.
Right now.
Right now? So Bonino Farms, this is going to be here like a long time. This is not going anywhere.
You know, I guess it'll probably depend upon the next generation.
Well, they look
So
pretty.
far, we're working on 5 generations. My grandkids are 5th generation.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
Boninos have been in the San Martin area for 97 years, and my husband's mother's side of the family came to Gilroy in 1920, so they've been here pretty close to 100 as well.
Cool. So I see somebody walking behind me, and I have to bring her up here. Come here, Mom. Come on down. Okay, and this is my mom. This is Lorraine.
Hi.
And she's been here 92 years. Well, not in Gilroy, but she's been around for. So, okay, so.
You girls work.
All right, we will. Okay. Okay, Judy. Well, let's start frying these guys up, and let's see. I don't want this too hot, you know. This is always frying is one of those very challenging things. You know, so girls, talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, yes, I'm just drooling over here.
Yeah. It's past
Well.
lunchtime.
Yeah.
Let's see.
No, it's yours.
Looks yummy, Judy.
Yeah. Well, you know, every time you make something, every time I make something, it just never comes out exactly the same as it did the time before. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't usually read a recipe very
kind of
well.
like me.
I'm kind of, you know, so I'm just hoping that. Oh, good. Not sticking is a really good sign.
That is good.
You know, usually because we're out in the farm, so it's a little bit different than cooking it on your stove. If I was doing this at home, I probably would use like a non-stick,
Right.
you know,
That's a really nice
frying
little
pan.
recipe.
Yeah.
I like that.
But these are doing, you know, the idea is when you fry something, when it's ready, it'll release itself. You know, so that it shouldn't stick. See now, look, see.
Sliding around because it gets hard and crusty.
Yeah, see, so that's and because we're using peanut oil, it also makes it a little bit different. But I'm really hoping you guys like these. You know,
We will.
it's sort of something new because I don't think that it's a real popular thing for people to make here. But in the South, I mean, they make all kinds of corn fritters. Because Raquel was telling me that your mom makes some.
Well, and she started making them more often because my brother lives in South Carolina and they eat a lot of fritters.
Oh.
When she went to visit, she got, of course, a cookbook, and now she loves to make fritters.
But yours, you were telling me yours are more like a muffiny type
well,
of thing.
they're a little fatter and a little taller, and yeah, but they're fried. They're pretty similar. I was thinking yours weren't going to be maybe as chunky, more thin like a pancake. But yours
Yeah.
are Nice and chunky and very
So
similar.
let's see if we can get it.
And they smell delicious.
Yeah, they do. They look great.
Well, to me, they remind me of a potato latke, which is a potato pancake.
right.
And so actually we're going to serve these with sour cream. Well, you don't have to, but why not?
All of my help is salivating.
Yeah, you could actually, the other thing you could
hovering.
serve this, you could serve this with yogurt. I mean, if you wanted to cut the calories, which at this point, I don't really think it's going to make that big of a difference. But yogurt's good. I mean, I like the Greek yogurt and stuff like that. I think it has a really good flavor. So,
You know what would be good is to drizzle like a chipotle.
you see? See, there's the California part coming in. See, there goes the California.
Yeah.
See, we're already, yeah.
You could add maybe even some red bell pepper. Oh, you do.
There is red
Or
bell.
chunky salsa.
You could,
Good,
oh
too.
yeah. Okay, so here comes California. We're smothering out
Of
the
avocado
South.
on top, and then this.
Yeah, the avocado.
See?
Gotta have some avocado.
Yeah.
The South has no place, obviously, here. You know, we've already changed it up, you know. But yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. It's just something that we don't usually make here. And like you guys have already incorporated. The other thing is, instead of using sharp cheddar, you could use, jack cheese, pepper jack.
Well, or you could even use like a Parmesan and make it
Oh.
into, something.
Yeah, then you could use mascarpone or something on it.
Or feta.
Or feta. See, there we go.
Goat cheese.
But the one thing when I was like looking, at all kinds of different recipes and everything, the one thing the South does that I noticed that we don't do here is they add sugar to their corn. I don't add sugar in my corn.
We don't need it.
We don't need it here. But I know people who boil their corn in sugar water.
Yes.
Yeah.
They always put like a couple tablespoons of sugar. I never cooked like that. My mom never taught me how to cook like that. Do you guys, you don't put, obviously you wouldn't put sugar in this corn.
Nope.
It would be, but see, in the South they drink things like sweet tea.
Right.
That is so sweet. You
I mean, it's like, which is nothing against the Southern people, but we're not used to that here in California. We drink tea, but it's herbal
Or green.
or green.
no sweetener.
Yeah. So how are these looking?
Those are looking wonderful.
Let's see. Yeah, I think they're okay. Now, the one trick I did learn was to drain things on a brown paper bag, which is really better than draining them on like paper towels, because paper towels sometimes stick.
And they're not
To it.
absorbent as a
Yeah. This seems to really, okay. All right. Okay, we got 4 done. We only have 400 more to go. So we'll be back, and you'll see we'll have a whole big plate full, and hopefully by then our soup will be done. And then I made banana pudding. But you know I don't like to bake, so I don't know about this one. But I added some chocolate ganache to it.
well. There you go.
So I figure, we'll try it. We'll see. Okay, we'll be back. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hi. Okay, we're back. Soup is still cooking, and I took the ham hock out, and now we're gonna cut it up. It's hot. But, when you cut it up, it does have some gristle in it. So you want to cut that. You don't want to, you can't help some of it. Some of it's just going to be in there. But, oh. You don't want chopped Julie fingers, but. So you can see, we're just chopping this. Oh, can you see it? That's the other half of it. We're just going to chop it up. Do you guys use ham hocks very often?
No.
I think that question's to you.
No, I use them just like this to make.
To make soup with and beans and
Yeah.
stuff like that? Yeah.
I make like a 14 bean soup, and my kids give me a bad time all the time. So what are we having? Our 53 bean soup, Mom, tonight? How many this time? 64 beans, Mom?
There's just, but they eat it, don't they?
Oh, they do.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Well, if you don't have, like this is even during, we have a few visitors. Even if we have, like if you have a ham, you just use the same thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to
Bone
be,
out of
yeah.
the ham. Yeah.
It's really for flavor, but in this case, you actually get a lot of meat. But the other thing you could use is a ham steak. Like just the steak, and cut it up and put it in there. And like I said, if you don't eat pork, try a smoked turkey.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I use them. I make collard greens, and half my family doesn't eat pork, so I make one batch with smoked turkey, and the other batch with ham hocks, or sometimes even salt pork. So anyway, okay. Well, you see what I'm doing. I'm cutting it up, I'm putting it in here. So I'm gonna continue to do this till we get it all in here, and then we'll be right back and we'll have our eat-a-thon. Okay, see you in a minute. Hi, okay, we're back. It's Cooking for All Seasons, and we're back. Now, cooking in this barn, it is a barn.
Yes.
It really is a
Yes,
barn.
it is.
But it is a beautiful barn, and it has beautiful things and beautiful people in it. Thank you so much. And we finished, get out of there. We have our corn fritters, looking good.
Really good.
And our vegetable soup. And this was my attempt at making some, here, you guys, can you see that? Whoa, how's that looking? My attempt at making banana, because they use a lot of banana pudding and they use a lot of sugar and stuff like that in the South. This has vanilla wafers, traditional, but I made the custard with vanilla pudding and whipped cream. And then I put some, of course I had to turn it a little bit California, so I put a little chocolate ganache in there. And then the top is just plain whipped cream with a little ganache and some toasted pecans. So I want to thank you so very much for having me here. And Julie, awesome job. Okay,
Thank
awesome
you.
job. You did a great job. So I want you to take a taste. I know it's going to be hot, but let's just try a little bit of the soup. I don't want you to burn yourself though. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here. And it's vegetables.
Thank you.
Here, Judy. You could have more, but I just want it to cool so you can actually taste it. Don't burn your mouth though. Here, I'll hold your mic, and then I'll dish up while you guys are eating that. So what I chose sour cream on my on these fritters because I like sour cream, and I'm used to eating potato latkes, and we use sour cream on them. But as you can tell when we were talking, how many different variations you can actually make with these fritters, how many different things you can do. So just put a little dab,
The soup is excellent.
It tastes okay?
Excellent.
It tastes good? Good. Okay, if you guys want to taste this next, and then, oh, no, get off. So, now this is going to be a challenge because I don't know how this pudding thing is going to come out. So,
Came back with a
hi!
Yep, I made it in time for fritters.
We have a taster.
Good.
Okay, here. Ooh,
No, go ahead, do your thing. I can wait till later.
oh, here. She had to go pick her daughter
I
up.
did, but I zoomed back.
Okay, here.
Here's your dog. Here.
Yes.
Okay. Oop, let's get a fork here. Fork.
Hi, Lucy.
Fork. Here we go.
All right, I'm gonna let.
How's
my
it
dog
taste?
it.
Excellent.
All right, you want to be a taster? Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. Interesting pudding. cake, vanilla, banana.
Hi, you.
I was afraid that it went, you know, that the but the cookies actually do get soft, you know, from the moisture in the bananas and stuff. So I was kind of curious to see if that was going to happen. You want to taste it?
Sure.
Oh, good girl. There you go.
Gotta taste
You
it.
wanna-
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So what do you think of the? Oh, hi, Lucy. Come on out.
She's loving your fritters.
Say hi. Say hi to the people.
To the people.
Is
Well, I
she
think you
cute
might
or
like
what?
this one too.
Ooh, here, Mom. Oh.
Have that one.
Oh, here. Lucy, try this. So, did you like the fritters? Mm-hmm. Were they different, huh?
This is really good.
It is? Mm-hmm. I'm so surprised. Try that. Okay, here, Judy.
Anybody who likes banana flavor would love this.
I know somebody who doesn't really like banana flavor.
I ate my fritter all up.
How's that?
Very good, huh?
That would be Daddy's favorite.
So this is kind of fun. We're having fun.
No, I don't.
And Uncle Brent, one of his favorites is
I'll trade you.
banana cream pie.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, it looks like everybody's happy.
Yes, that was good.
And
Excellent.
it's tasting good. And we want to thank you guys for being with us. And thank you, Judy, for letting us come out here and in your beautiful
So welcome.
barn. And thank you guys, and thank my crew and everybody. And you know, give these things a try, and I think you're going to enjoy it. It's just a little bit different, little different things that trying to get you to change up a little bit. So, all right, thank you guys again, and we'll be back with another episode of Cooking for All Seasons.
Did it.
That was awesome.
Babe, you're gonna go crazy over that. Yes.
Is that good? Did it come out okay? No.
Right?
But you do? Do you love it? Oh,
Favorite.
I would, you know, okay.
You better give good daddy by your dad.
Yeah, that's his number one.
You're gonna love that.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, that has your favorite cookie in it.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
These are so good.
Favorite.
did you taste that?
I like those.
I do.
Yeah?
I need another one.
Okay,
Another one. I know there's enough. I counted.
I counted. Okay, you guys.
I could,
Yeah,
but
that's number 3.
Don't you,
Yes.
number 3.
If you must say it out loud.
But who's counting?
don't you want to feed
My
your,
breakfast and lunch right there. See? So I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad.
Everything is so good.
oh good. Okay, you guys,
Get in there, Mark.
Get in there. Mark's okay, you guys. Mark, okay.
you want a bowl of soup?
Yes.
It's okay, babe. I'm on my way out too.
Okay, take a fritter.
Are you taking your tractor?
This is hot, you
All
guys.
right. I'm gonna walk out with you, but I'll walk out the other way.
Whoa,
I love you. Try it. Finish it.
this is really hot.
Very good.
Sour cream on top of the fritter.
Everything's delicious. Yeah.
Sour cream on top.
This is hot. I mean, this is really hot, guys.
Good. It'll go even better.
Hot.
Thank you. What is this? Me?
Sour cream. Yes. Soup? Soup?
Please.
Soup? You want soup?
For you.
Okay.
No soup for you.
No soup for you? Guys.
You got any tapatio?
No, I don't, but you definitely could use it in there. The spoons are over there. Huh? Come on. I don't want you to starve.
Okay, Judith, are you ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Excited.
I'm excited.
I know. I'm excited.
I don't know if I can match that enthusiasm.
Wait a minute. You did not get that, did you? Oh, shit.
Nice.
So we'll be back in a few.
You did so good. Your daughter's nervous up here.
Oh yeah.
Are you?
Well, I don't want to like cut off a finger. Or,
Oh, I know. You did really good.
I know. She's like pointing it around.
You did fine. He wants me to cut this up in front of him, and it's damn hot. And
Something else?
Talk to us while you're doing it. Since we're rolling.
oh,
You're on camera.
hi guys.
Oh. Poor Clint.
Okay. Remember we're rolling, Judy, so let's do stuff. Let's do the stuff.
Okay, we're just rolling.
I don't do stupid stuff.
ever.
Oh, video to the contrary. Are you ready?
Yes.